What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. Saturday, July 20th on Netflix. Jake Paul versus a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. You know what's funny? When I watched what Jake Paul was doing from the very beginning, people praised him for being a genius, but when you really think about it, there was nothing genius about it. The fact of the matter is, he was in a position where he was able to get fights with guys that had a name outside of boxing in a boxing ring. And him being green, being a novice as well, they felt like, well, okay, we're really on even playing grounds in terms of, well, he's just starting out. I'm just starting out. And the difference is the age. The funny thing was, as time went on, you heard Jake Paul getting sick of people calling him a novice. He started talking about how he's been training since 2015 or 16 or whatever it was, and how, he's been training. It's not like he just walked in the gym. Okay, see, listen. He's talking, listen to him. He's explaining to you. No, I had an agenda. See, if he beats 60-year-old Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fans won't say, man, this dude is 60 years old. They're going to say, yo, he's one of the greatest of all time. Yo, Mike Tyson and Jake beat him. 60 ain't nothing but '06 backwards. When I said Jake Paul could fight a 60-year-old and you guys would applaud it, and I remember people coming to my comment section going, nah, come on, he wouldn't do nothing like that. He's just trying to fight guys that have more experience, but come on, man, he's not going to fight somebody 60. Guess what? Shut up. Just like I said, he could fight somebody 60 years old and people will applaud it. I mean, he's 60, but it's still like Tyson, though. Okay? If Anthony Joshua had agreed to fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson, what would you say? Exactly my point. So, my whole thing is, Jake Paul has been getting experience. He's fighting. He still has a long way to go. He's still, he's not on a world-class level at all. Now, the best thing that can happen in this fight is that Mike Tyson don't go in there and play with him. Mike Tyson don't go in there and hold back. And that Mike Tyson goes in there, put him on his ass, get him out of there and show him, man, you've been in my sport too long, playing around with us and building a name fighting older guys. So the buck stops here. The last time we seen Mike Tyson fight competitively, he got destroyed. I'm not talking about that Roy Jones bullshit. I'm talking about as a 38-year-old. You watch the man at 38 years old get interviewed right after the fight and say, I don't have the heart for this anymore. I'm only fighting for the money because I'm broke, man. I need money. But I'm not going to continue. I'm going to and fight and disgrace the sport like this. I'm going to retire. And that's what he did. So now y'all think at 60 he's rejuvenated, he's this, he's that. And you can get older and you can still have that fire and that spark and still be skillful because you took care of yourself, your body got rested. If you had injuries, your injuries are gone, whatever. But bottom line of what I'm saying is it's so, yeah. I mean, but let's just be real. If right now Mike Tyson was the same exact age as Jake Paul, do you think Jake Paul would take this fight? Okay. Why did he even wait? So he didn't even want to fight Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson was 50-something. And this matter of fact, when he fought Roy, Mike was 54. Was it? Something like that. And Roy was 56 or something. And Roy was 52 or whatever it was. But when the talks was coming out then, Mike Tyson denied it, that there was no fight between him and Jake Paul. But bottom line is, if you look at that Mike Tyson, Roy Jones fight and take it serious, something's wrong with you. I mean, people was even, man, Roy, man, they robbed Tyson, Roy, man, Roy Mike won, man, Roy, and I'm just saying, you guys really think you just watched the real fight, don't you? Like, damn, you guys are gullible. This is what happens when money's involved. Big money will bring people out. Don't be, I mean, shit, what do you, I won't be shocked if this man all of a sudden, challenged George Foreman. Go from 60 to 70 something. This dude, like, boxing has become such a joke that this is the type of fights that we're getting. I, for one, will not waste my damn time or money to watch that shit, to sit here and purchase that. No. The most I will do, the most, is I might watch a replay on YouTube or some shit. Fights I'm really interested in, I'll watch the whole fight. I'll watch it. I'll but something like that, I'm not tuning in to watch that shit. And if Mike Tyson goes in there and play with him, have mercy on him, hold back, shame on him. If Mike goes in there and gets knocked the fuck out, he did it to himself, and it'll be simply for the paycheck. Now, if Mike goes in there and all this shit you've been showing to Francis Ngannou and all the, okay, if he goes in there and take this shit serious and knock this motherfucker out who's in his 20s, like and just get him out of there, and hey, he'll become the laughing stock of boxing. Of course, people will make excuses. Like I said, I mean, even though he's 60, that's still Mike Tyson. Yeah. No one will ever accuse Jake Paul of fighting people once they get old. Yeah. But this joke of a fight is happening. For people going, yo, but for Mike to be 60 and still getting it with a younger guy, you got to give him credit and all this goofy shit. Man, you guys are so gullible. Like I said, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. For all of the money. You know what's so funny about it? Because for all of the money, or whatever they're getting paid, whatever, all of the money that goes on in sports, you have a lot of people that say some guys are greedy, everything has to be their way. Hell, I see it. I've pointed those things out about people. I just couldn't find it in myself to be in my damn 20s and want to fight a 60-year-old man where, for one, if I lose, I look like I'm the laughing stock of boxing, but if I win, I'm going to speak like I be the guy that was in his prime or something, because he's an all-time great. And this is going to be on Netflix. So, yeah, they're trying to launch this whole boxing thing, kick it off with a bang. And what better way to get a 60-fucking-year-old man in the ring? Yeah, so it's obvious they don't remember the Mike Tyson days of, okay, I don't have a heart for this anymore. Look, y'all, I told you boxing has become a joke. It's really become a joke. And because I've connected with a lot of you, man, it's one of these things where you guys are the reason why I even keep doing it. Honestly, I don't even feel like making videos at times, man. It's just because of the news that I'm talking about. It's just like, really, this is what we're doing? Soap opera stuff, no actual fight, or there's a fight going on, but the guy is high and drunk at his press conference, or what? I mean, like, all of this nonsense. Are we really supposed to get excited because Mike Tyson's coming back at 60 years old? Or are we supposed to get excited because Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul? Yeah, well, this is the new age of boxing. This is the joke that boxing has become. If you sat down and watched Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Vander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Larry Holmes, Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, if you sat down and watched all of those guys, even in the Olympics, Felix Savant, if you sat back in Salvador Sanchez and Aaron Pryor, Alexis Oguel, they sat and really watched these fighters, I wouldn't be shocked if someone from this era would go, they were all right. They're not as good as Jake Paul, though. You know what? People are actually talking about this fight like it's fair. Like it's like they're completely overlooking that Jake Paul is fighting a 60-year-old man. There's no way Jake Paul would take this fight if he was the same age as Mike Tyson. Now check this out, right? Marvis Frazier had no business in there with Larry Holmes because he only had 10 fights. But guess what? At the time when he fought Holmes, but Marvis Frazier got in there with Larry Holmes. Marvis Frazier got in there with Mike Tyson. Now, he got the hell beat out of him both times, but you know what I'm saying? He was just as inexperienced as Jake Paul. Now, I don't know. I don't remember too much about Marvis. As far as like Olympic fighting or whatever, I don't really remember too much about Marvis Frazier doing anything. I just know as a pro, he never made any real noise. The fact that he's Joe Frazier's son is what people paid attention to as far as he goes. But there's no Marvis Frazier fights that people talk about other than the two that he got most known for, and that was getting the hell beat out of him by Larry Holmes and Mike Tyson. Yet Jake Paul get the excuses. And all I'm saying is, man, it's not genius, man. That's like if you could play pool and you watch guys go in the gym, they don't miss nothing. Right? You don't want to play against them. You'll play the other guys that you feel confident you can beat, but you don't want to play them. All of a sudden, the motherfucker get arthritis. Now you want to play him because he's missing shots now. His hand is not so steady. Both hands are from that. Now you're confident because he got old. He can't function the same. His hands are jittery. He's missing shots he used to make with no problem. Yeah. You ever see somebody so good at pool that they could close their eyes and make a shot? Yeah. I used to do that shit. I just don't play pool as much as I used to. But no, I'm saying, really, you see guys do that shit. But I'm saying, you don't want no smoke when they're still capable. I don't give a fuck if a motherfucker 90 years old. You don't want to play him. But all of a sudden, he turned 95. Now his hand's not steady. Now you want to play him. This is what Jake Paul does. People, it's genius what he's doing. No, it's not genius, man. He's just in a position to make these things happen. I mean, damn, I think it's more genius that Francis Ngannou. Look at Francis Ngannou. You see, let's make the comparison. You got an MMA fighter. Now, Francis had some amateur background experience that they overlook on purpose because they wanted you to think that he just walked into the ring. But that was years ago. But bottom line is, this dude didn't come in and do like Kimbo Slice and started from the bottom to see what he could do and fight certain guys on his level. And Kimbo passed away. But Kimbo came straight from the streets into the octagon. Ain't nobody make excuses for him. They called him overrated. You understand what I'm saying? And it was no easy fights for him. I mean, even against Tank Abbott, a guy who don't have any like grappling skills and know how to do locks and all that, and arm bars and leg locks and ankle locks and all that shit, choke out and all that, but he was a straight brawler. That's all Kimbo Slice was, a street fighter. So that was the most even, you could say, fight that he had there. And all those other guys had far more experience than him, man. Kimbo wasn't an MMA guy, and he was able to beat MMA. Some of them, he beat a few of them. His lack of experience, it caught up with him, of course. He came into boxing, but the point is he had the heart. See, that's why I say people, they make excuses for Kimbo, but they make excuses for Jake Paul. Kimbo wasn't like, give me somebody that's 97 years old. Jake Paul is going there fighting guys that's not even boxers. Kimbo ain't had no fucking boxing background. He was a straight bona fide street fighter. Or do y'all forget that? Butterbean was a straight up street tough man fighter. Big fat ball pointed bullet head motherfucker. And he fought Larry Holmes. They both got older, but bottom line, I'm saying this dude was in here fighting guys and was trying to fight pro fighters. Or do y'all forget that? They didn't get no fucking witness protection program. They didn't get no excuses, but somehow Jake Paul gets a pass. And that's why I gotta remind you motherfuckers, because y'all love to talk and run y'all mouth and make excuses. Nobody made no excuses for Kimbo Slice. They talk shit about him, and it's like, how you gonna say Kimbo's overrated? Kimbo he's the first one to tell you, I'm not a boxer, I'm not an MMA guy, but I'm not afraid to throw these, man. We go in there, this is how I eat, this is how I make my money. Now, if you want to say Jake Paul took the easier route, the safer route, let's say it like that, and it paid off more because he, was able to still make this money and still lose and get in there with guys that's a certain level that he can obliterate. And for the people that he got behind him, they don't care how much they suck, long as Jake Paul wins. That's what's important, right? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing of what I'm saying. So, he's fighting a 60-year-old man. I don't give a shit, man. I can't respect that, man. I don't respect that. I don't even know why the fuck people other than money and them thinking this is going to be a big draw. I don't even know why the fuck this is a fight that somebody would even want to sanction. A 60-year-old man fighting a guy in his 20s. A guy who claims he wants to be light heavyweight champ of the world. And this is how you're going to get there. That's how you're going to do it. You're on the phone with your agent like, yeah, man, I just pulled up three nursing homes. Yeah, man, they said they got 5 guys in there. Yeah, they're all in their 90s, and one of them used to play horseshoes. They say he had a hell of an arm. Yeah, he was a great horseshoe player. Yeah, let's see if we can get a fight with him. Well, the other 2, they can't bring the walker into the ring, but, they can bring it down the ring side. Once they get in the ring, they got to leave the walker out. Yeah, I think I want to fight them 3. Yeah, he was a great chess player. And the other guy, man, yeah, he was a sword fighter. What do your phone calls sound like, man? You fight these nobodies, and when you fight somebody with a name, it's someone way past their prime. How the fuck do you respect that, man? Y'all some robots. Oh, man, it's genius. He's a genius. No. There's nothing genius about it. You were just in the right position. And so Logan Paul went the WWE route. It's paying off for both of them. Yeah, there's nothing genius about it, though. It's nothing genius about it. Y'all just repeat anything that Sean Porter or Max Kellerman or Teddy, anything someone says, you guys repeat it like you're saying a mouthful. Let me just tell you something. You can never say anything about a fighter fighting someone when they're old, especially when they're in that same bracket. Even you're 38, but he's 33. You guys are still in your 30s. Here's a guy in his 20s fighting a 60-year-old man. But because his name is Mike Tyson, so let me ask you something. If LeBron James played Michael Jordan right now and beat him, y'all gonna say, told you he was better than Jordan? Like he just played a prime Jordan. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to say LeBron, because LeBron still has experience too. He's not some but I'm just saying some up and coming guy who comes in and he beats Jordan now at Jordan's age. Okay, he's supposed to beat Jordan now. But you react as if it's a prime Michael Jordan. Guys, boxing is a freaking joke. It's a freaking joke. That's why, especially when stuff like this, I like to, put a description on there so you guys know where I'm coming from, because I'm certainly not excited about this bullshit. And like I said, no, I'm not going to sit and order this shit. And I have Netflix. I don't give a fuck if it's free, whatever. I'm not going to spend money on some garbage like this, man. And I'm not going to take time out of my, just stop to, oh no, that's something, like I said, there's something I'll catch later. Or whatever, in the sake of giving the boxing news. Once again, before I close out, Mike Tyson don't need to play with this boy. He needs to go in there and knock his ass out if he can. If he can. And basically, Mike Tyson, when the bullshit with him and Roy Jones, and he says, it's not all about knockouts. I don't care about that. I wanted to show people I could go the distance. People said that, I'm a 6-round fighter. I wanted to show them I could go the distance. So, that's the thing. I went the distance, being in, and so yeah, I show people that I can go to 10 rounds, It was a fucking fight where you guys agreed to not try to knock each other out. That's why. It We know that. That's why you both. Didn't you just see the same thing happen with Razor Ruddock and James Toney? Man, these guys are not going for the kill. And what do they call the fight? A draw. Now, all of it might not be a draw, but if you pay attention, most of them are. And they both get a belt. It's just like, let's give them their flowers. Let's go in there and go through the motion. That's all that is. And you guys think you actually sat there and watched the real fight. You don't know the difference. So if Mike Tyson goes in here and plays around and say, fuck it, if I get knocked out, I get knocked out, I get played a pretty penny, it doesn't damage his career any kind of way because he's 60 goddamn years old and been retired all this time. But as a man, it's just like, man, fuck all the, oh, he's 60 and he got it. No, it's the point of if it's just motivated by the money, and if your heart's not in this and you're not really coming to fight to win, why even do it? You know, why even do it? Why? And for Jake Paul, if he wins, for him to walk around and talk shit like he did something big, okay. Well, if you want to talk like you be the prime Mike Tyson, that means you should be ready to fight a Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua or even a Deontay Wilder. You understand? Or Joseph, any of them. And this is the thing that we know he's not going to do. You see, he's using legends' names to build his profile, but he's staying away from the dangerous fighters. Francis Ngannou got way more heart. Okay, Francis Ngannou got less fights than you as a boxer. So why don't you fight Francis Ngannou? No, he don't want to do that. Yeah, but he's only... No, stop that shit, because Mike Tyson is a fucking heavyweight as well. So if he can fight Mike Tyson, he can fight Francis Ngannou. That's my point, y'all. That's my point. At least Francis is I'm ready to fight nothing but the top guys. I don't like all the skip of the line stuff, but that's my point. Francis Ngannou isn't there fighting the top guys. Kimbo Slice was coming there. There was no easy fights for him, boxing or MMA, but he went in there. And he had stamina issues, man. I think they said he had asthma too or whatever. But bottom line, you know, he was in there. He had the heart. Butterbean had the heart. Shit, even Herschel Walker went into MMA. Different, you know, bottom line. These guys had no excuse and no experience, and they came into a craft that really they wasn't, you know, didn't grow up doing this stuff. So, yeah, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. And I'm not shocked because they talked about this so much in the past. Mike Tyson denied it. It didn't come through. They just got this deal with Netflix, so I'm pretty sure they're giving Mike Tyson some big money for this shit. And the money is what got him off his ass. We watched this man sit here talking about doing mushrooms, smoking weed. We seen Mike Tyson. You ever watch his show, Hot Boxing or whatever, and he be sitting there the whole time, stoned out of his mind doing an interview. And all of a sudden now, you're going to get serious for a couple of months. Come on, man. You know when a guy get a certain age and he be walking around all that gray shit and that receding ass hairline be way back here and he won't cut that shit, that's somebody who has lost their edge. And they've already accepted that, okay, I'm getting older, blah, 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 whatever. But they get to the point where certain things they see, they'll have that day where they get back in the gym for a couple of weeks, then they lay off. Get back in the gym for a week, lay off. They stay out the gym, then something happened. Oh, let me get back. And you know damn well Mike Tyson is not no damn gym, training ferociously and doing this shit like it's a lifestyle. And I'm just saying, for me to stand up here and get my hand raised, and I'm 20-something years old, against a 60-year-old man, and then talk like, because I already know, he's going to capitalize off of this if he wins. Now, whatever happens, happens. I don't personally care what the fuck happens, see? And, you know, when I say for the sake of boxing, I say that because I don't care personally. You know, you want to get in there, then get in there. The outcome is the outcome. What I'm saying, for the sake of boxing, if these people within boxing cared, they wouldn't put shit together like this. They just wouldn't do it. Let me tell you something. And then I'm showing you how shitty boxing is. Okay? Y'all remember Sting, the wrestler Sting, Surfer Sting, Crowface Sting, Wolfpack Sting. He just wrestled his last match in AEW at a pay-per-view called Revolution. And you know what? They insisted that Sting goes out undefeated. Okay? And he was tagged up with a guy named Darby Allin. I don't know if you guys watch it, AEW or not. And they wound up becoming tag team champions. So Sting retires at 64 fucking years old. Still diving off the top of shit, doing all this crazy stuff at 64. He retired. And AEW insisted, even the guys he was against, nah, man, the traditional thing is a wrestler goes out on his back to try to pass the torch to the, no, man, you've contributed way too much to the sport of wrestling. If it wasn't for guys like you, we wouldn't be here. We insist you go out on top. So here he is exiting AEW at 29-0. His WWE run sucked because all Vince wanted to do was say, let's take the nail in the coffin. Sting is WCW. We had Goldberg, Scott Steiner, Luger was here years ago, Flair's back and forth. We got Bischoff to come over, but we never got Sting. He was the hero of WCW. We're going to put him in there against Triple H. He had 5 appearances. Sting lost every match he had. They did him dirty. His send-off was complete trash. AEW, who's been in business for 5 years, and they come along and they're successful, they're huge, and they end up giving Sting a proper send-off. We're talking about a fucking entertainment brand that's not even a real sport. And they had enough admiration for this man and respect that he left that company at 64 years old with his partner undefeated. A guy much younger, Darby Allin, in his 20s. And here we have boxing, an actual real sport. And we want to talk about how great Mike Tyson was and how Mike was unbeatable from this year to that year. Mike was this and this. But you're willing to make the fight happen to get revenue, to get more eyes on Netflix, because now we're covering video games now, not just movies, TV show, boxing. We bringing sports, right? So we're going to put a 60-year-old man in the ring that we're living off his past. I'm just saying. Opportunist, man. And for Jake Paul, if you got the heart, again, remember now, this is the same Jake Paul that made all this stink that Hassan Rahman was overweight. Remember, right? They had the stipulation had that rehydration clause. Yeah, remember that. Tried to drain Hassan Rahman. Knew it would have been real difficult for him to get all the way down, even though he said he could. They knew it was, he's a fat boy. He knew it wasn't going to be easy. So now, you can fight a 60-year-old man. What you think Mike going to come in there? You think Mike going to come in there 199 pounds, 180 something? No. You're fighting a full-fledged 60-year-old heavyweight. But I bet you won't fight Francis Ngannou. And he always talk about how these guys got more fights than me. Okay, you got more fights way more than Francis Ngannou. But I bet you Jake Paul fans won't fucking beg him to fight against Francis. Nah, man, stay away. And guess what? See, Francis is 38. So he's still way older than you. You know what the problem is? He'll fuck you up. He's still good enough and he'll beat your ass. You don't want no parts of that. How the fuck do you respect that? Oh, that's genius with being a coward. Maneuvering around to fight guys past their prime. That's not even fighters. Not even boxers. They're strikers. They're MMA guys. And you're fighting them in a boxing ring. Yeah, but to his credit, man. Okay, so what he has now? 10, 11 fights? Cool. Francis only has 1. After AJ, that'd only be 2. Even if he loses to AJ, which he should, but even if he loses to AJ, fight him next. I bet you Jake won't fight that motherfucker. I'll bet you whatever the fuck you want. Anybody want to bet against me? I got Cash App, you got Cash App. I'll put 5 bands up. I guarantee you that motherfucker won't fight Francis Ngannou. Now, Francis Ngannou was about 95? Yeah. And cripple? Yeah, he'll fight him then. Fuck, I'm gonna respect that cowardly shit, man. Nah. I applaud the fact that he's able to get people in the ring that's dumb enough to do it. So they willing to do it, then cool. And I say dumb enough because it's like you got guys that don't have any real skill. They get in the gym for a couple of months and then think all of a sudden they're boxers. So it worked for them. But genius? No. That's cowardly shit, man. That's some coward shit. You wouldn't even let Hassan Rahman come in at a comfortable weight for himself. Fight was off, and you talked all this shit. But you'll fight a 60-year-old. Come on, y'all. That's soft. I don't respect that. And I'm not hyped up for this fight. I don't even care to see this fight. Like I said, if anything is just boxing news thing, I have no interest in this fucking fight, man. Like this is the shame that boxing has come to. And I don't even see this shit, honestly, as a sport. When I hear professional fighters saying, people don't come for the fight, they come for the entertainment. Oh, so let's gear towards the entertainment side, because that's what people want to see. They don't care about the fight. Okay. Well, you guys are all a part of the problem. So I didn't make this video to tell you that this fight was happening and oh, I'm excited. I don't care who the fuck you got on this fight. I don't even care. This is not something I'm looking forward to. I'm doing this video to show you the disgrace, the shit stain that's all over the word boxing right now. You don't see fucking people jumping in the MMA cage thinking they can just come in there and do it, do you? Nope. Nope. One, the money's not nearly what it would be in boxing. And two, you think somebody want their arm broken or their leg or ankle broken? You think they want to get elbowed on their fucking nose? And no. But everybody think they can put a pair of damn gym shorts on, some Jordans, and a pair of gloves and call themselves a fucking fighter. It is what it is. Like I said, man. And you know what? If you don't want to fight Francis Ngannou, fight Alistair Overeem. He's not a boxer either. At least fight somebody that's still young enough to whoop your ass. And that's what he don't want to do. And that's what his fans won't admit. That's what the Sean Porters won't admit. And all the other people who sit there and meat ride this guy, they try to big him up. Like, listen, his contribution to women's boxing or whatever the fuck he's doing, okay, yeah, great. But him, what he's doing on his own accord with his career, he's protected himself. He's definitely taken the easier fights. He's taken the less risk fights. Yes, that's what he's doing. And I'm supposed to, no. I don't like the line skipping, but I at least, like I said, respect the fact that Francis Ngannou got the heart, and he wants to fight nothing but the top guys to get the top dollars. You know, again, just like Kimbo, you know, and just like Butterbean. No different. No different. Those guys really wanted that smoke, and they got in there and fought, win, lose, or draw. And the only thing you can really say is that, well, he maneuvered for things that happened more in his favor. That's about it. Now I wouldn't care. I don't even care personally. Well, my thing is, if he was doing it and not talking shit like he do, then it's like, we see what you're doing. But the fact that you sit here and talk the shit you do and then tell Eddie Hearn, I'm better than half the fighters on your roster. And the fact is, when you say that, you wouldn't fight nobody on his roster that's your size. That's the thing. If they're young, they got to be like 40 fucking pounds smaller than him, or he's not going to fight them. See, that's the whole shit I'm saying. And y'all sit up here applauding the guy who's doing nothing but fighting has-beens. I mean, even when Logan Paul fought Floyd, I said, man, Floyd was what, 152 pounds in that fight or some shit? This motherfucker was 199 or 200 pounds, and you wouldn't they talk about, oh, I fought the greatest fighter of all time. I'm like, wow. So now he's sitting up here talking about he fought the greatest fighter of all time, who's been retired for how many years at that time? And was way smaller, and Floyd carried this big 200-pound guy. And they called it a moral victory because he didn't get knocked out by a guy that's not a knockout artist, but a technical fucking wizard. Yeah, man. And I just got to be real. I got to get all of this shit out because I get so tired of people talking about this bullshit like it's honorable. Because it's not. It's not. Anyway, y'all, talk to me in the comment section, man. What do y'all think about this mess of a fight? Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. 20-something-year-old guy versus a 60-year-old man. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video. And that's not the slogan. That's words of wisdom. Take heed to them words. They have nothing but meaning to them. Enough talk.